Hi, we are in San Francisco. I came here for the Maker Faire in San Mateo, but we have some extra time so we can look at the city too. Hey, I'm going to Bay Area Maker Faire. This is gonna be great. I have a presentation there. I'm a little bit nervous about that. Well, I love makers. There is everything and anything in different shapes and sizes for everyone to see. So yeah, for those of you that don't know me, I make YouTube videos. I talk about basics of electronics. And one thing I try to do is that I find the videos that are fake, and there's a lot of them on the internet for sure, and provide information to people so they won't believe it. One type of video are the people who claim that they have special powers, like they are immune to electricity. Like for example, this guy claims that he can pass a lot of electricity through his body. Next person, kind of the same, he claims that he can tolerate lots of electrical voltages. They don't claim they're magicians, that's the problem. If they were saying that I'm a magician, that would be fine. But they're going on TV and everywhere saying that I have this special power. So the problem with these people is that they're all fake. I'm sorry to tell you that you are not special. If you run a certain amount of current through your body, you will definitely die, right? So don't believe these people. Don't go and try and say, okay, maybe I'm special, let's try it, and then poof. Yeah. They know about electricity. They know these are all tricks that you can do or swap. Never try to do what I'm doing here. And I've been zapped enough, so for this experiment, I need a victim. Volunteer. Get a volunteer. How many volunteers? Hey, he has my shirt, so you come. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Oliver.
Steve?
Oliver. Yeah,
Steve.
close enough.
Oliver. So what we're going to do is that I have this wire here that has exposed ends, and I'm going to plug it in. And what happens is that, plug it in if I can. It hit me in the face. So yeah, when you have exposed wires, you have to make sure that the ends are not touching. That's one thing to make sure. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have live wires. My breaker didn't pop. Good. So let's check it again to make sure that it's live. Welded. Damn it. Maybe I should pull it out. It's fine. Well, this is not ending very well. Try again. Okay, let's not short it. Okay. Just want to make sure that show you that it's live. And it's not live anymore for some reason. We tripped the breaker. Having breaker in your lines are very important. There you go. Good, I didn't lose my audio or anything, so that's a plus. Okay, let's not short anything. Yes. I turned on the light. That's very important. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put this live wire in the water, right? And you're going to put your finger in the water. And tell me how you feel, right? Just be honest about it. Yeah. So there is nothing special. Put your finger away.
Like right here?
Yeah. Go in. Yeah. A little bit lower in the water. Okay. And now slowly bring it close and tell me if you feel it. get closer. Feeling anything?
Not yet.
Not yet? Can you go between the wires?
Oh, I feel that. Oh, that's so cool.
Wow. You feel it? So you feel it? Okay, good. That's good. I'm going to make it much more conductive. Apparently it's conductive. I wasn't expecting you to feel much. Now you're going to definitely feel something. And earlier too. You might ask, hey, he put his hand in the water with live wires, why he's not dead? He would be dead if more of his body was in the water. Like for example, if you are in a bathtub, there are more conductive paths to ground, like the plumbing is made of copper going to the ground, or the faucets there are connected to ground. So even if you just drop a live wire in the bathtub, there will be electricity and you will be electrocuted, right? So it's much more dangerous in the bathtub. But here he has only his finger in the water, so the electricity only passes through his fingers, right? And don't worry, should something happen to you, we have other volunteers. So let's see. Now you put it away, all the way back there. Let's see how you feel. Anything yet?
Oh, yeah, I feel a lot closer now. Or a lot further away.
There you go. So yeah, thanks a lot. Our first volunteer was survived the test. If you know the trick, you can still put your hand in the water if your water is pure. So the kid that I showed at the end, that put his hand in the water with the live wires, it wasn't anything strange he was doing. He just knew that he shouldn't be connected, and like if his body was connected to ground or whatever conductor beside the water, it would go through his body. But he knew that the electricity only goes through his hand. So tricks. What was I going to try next? Oh yes. Yes, I'm going to turn on. I have a 150 watt lamp here. I'm going to turn this on. I'll need another volunteer. You, come here. You seem to be good. Yeah, what's your name? Susie. Susie. Steve? Oh, you said my name. I just know Steve. Okay, so I'm going to have live wire here. So, no, that will kill you. Let's try something. Oh, there you go. Okay, now I'll let you. So this is 150 amp light, right? More than 1 amp is running through that wire. Should she touch it?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we have more people, like I said, so.
What am I touching?
Live wire. You feel anything? You survived! Yeah! Thank you very much. A round of applause for her. Thank you very much. There was more than 1 amp of current through this wire, but she was able to touch it. Why? You have heard the term, it's not the voltage that kills, it's the current. That's a lie, okay? There are a couple of different factors. The voltage creates the current, and then the amount of time it takes that you are exposed to that energy. So basically voltage times current times time is energy. The amount of time, the amount of energy through your body is what indicates how much hurting you're going to receive. Are you going to get completely burned or just get zapped? So what happens here? Yeah, for example, there might be 120 volts on this line, but this wire is a short circuit. The voltage across it is 0. So when she touches it, the voltage across her body is 0. It means that there is no current going through her body. It doesn't matter that there's she's touching 120 volts because she's not connected anywhere else to the ground or anything. There is no current running through his body. What happened? Did I turn off the screen when I tripped it? So I'm guessing, for example, these are all tricks, right? So there must be a reason behind it. the guy is holding these two wires at lower voltage and probably DC too. AC runs more current through your body, so it might be DC. And then he connects them together and puts it in his mouth. Only one wire. It's only one live wire in his mouth. There is no other path to ground, so he survives. The other type of fake video is about free energy. This one really pisses me off. The definition of free energy, based on what these guys are doing, is that they are creating energy without spending any other energy. That's why it's free. No other energy is spent to make the energy you want. They are making electricity or power out of nothing. Like the other type of free energy, you can argue that yes, wind, solar, hydropowers are all free. Yes, they are free, but you're converting one sort of energy to another sort of energy to use it, right? There are two types. The first type is that, yeah, you are making energy out of nowhere. The other type of video is saying that you're harvesting unknown energy. Some people say that there are these energy sources in the universe. It's coming from like a fifth dimension, and we harnessed it, and they don't know where it's coming from. They just say Tesla, and then everyone believes them, right? The ones that show that they are making energy out of nothing is like this one. It's the video you see here. One of the things there is a motor, and the other one is a generator, and they are tied to each other. What happens is that you turn the generator, it creates electricity, gives it to the motor. The motor turns and turns the generator. The generator creates electricity, gives it to the motor. The motor turns the generator. And it goes forever, and it has extra energy to power this light. Definitely, like this kind of free energy, definitely contradict the laws of thermodynamics, the physics around us. If something like this happens, our entire universe collapses. This can't happen. Make sure this doesn't happen, okay? The other video I saw is like this guy. A lot of people saw it. He glued some magnets on fan blades, and he brings another magnet close, and the bigger magnet pushes the tiny magnets away so that this motor continues turning. And because it's a motor turning, it's like a generator. He can't turn on a light bulb with it. He's using the magic of magnetism, right? So to show you that this is not impossible, I did the same thing, because it's hard to actually see the magnetic lines, whatever they're called. So it's best to just demonstrate it with like an actual fan. And I have a strong, magnet. Neodymium, yes, there you go. So, like, what happens is that if I bring it close, if you can see, it interacts with those magnets and moves them a little bit. But it's impossible for it to create a continuous there is no free energy, okay? Let's move on to the next subject. Oh, I know. I rigged it. So yeah, if you can see back there, I put two, well, it's under the tape, so I put two coin cell batteries. They make 6 volts, and they are wired to this tiny switch there, which is a special switch. It's called the reed switch, R-E-E-D. It's sensitive to magnets. So like when you bring a magnet close, it bends the contacts and they touch each other and close the circuit. So it's very likely what these guys did. So when you bring it close to that switch, it just closes the switch and this thing turns, right? Nothing special. Now I made another one with actual magnets, and this one is not rigged, everything's fine. And these are actual magnets, so yeah, you can see there. And if I move the magnet beside it, it can definitely move the thing, right? If I move it. But if I put it close, there is no way that you have a continuous force of magnetic field coming out, right? Energy. Like if I turn it like this, it will go back and stop in the same spot, always. And all these things really started, well, before this guy. This is our beloved Nikola Tesla. And you see that he's holding his head with his hand, because his brain was so heavy that that was probably true too. He was a real genius. He changed the face of the world. He made electric generators, electric motors. He distributed AC power. He changed the earth. But then he fell in love with his Tesla coil. Tesla coil in itself is actually pretty useless, I would say. It's mostly for show and tell. It makes noises and, you know, but it contains like a huge amount of science in it.
Oh, nice.
Like if you know exactly how this works, you know electricity very well. I should probably point it away from my laptop. The last thing that will happen. I need another victim. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Grant.
Grant.
Steve, sorry.
Steve, yes. There. Nothing visible yet. Let me increase the frequency. Okay.
Oh, it's burning up.
This thing, the cool thing about it is that, and this is why Mr. Nikola Tesla really fell in love with this thing, because it could somehow transmit power. Just hold it like that. We don't need to take it out from there. It should still turn on. Let's start a little bit higher. Do you see it blinking? Feel that? I'm getting stuck. Well, thank you very much, Steve. This is why Mr. Nikola Tesla fell in love with this thing, because it could wirelessly transfer power. He, basically, you see the tower on his side, he was so sure that he could make it work to power like a city from long distance. He made this tower, he spent a lot of money, he took a lot of money from the investors, made that tower, but he eventually failed. Some people say that the government took over his designs and he destroyed, the government destroyed them because of the fuel companies again, and then they destroyed Nikola Tesla's lab. But no, government is not hiding anything from us. Government is hiding everything from us, but this is not one of them, okay? Maybe the government took over his designs and spent a lot of money to research, and then they realized that, oh, it's not possible. So they wasted their time anyways. But yeah, this is like, what happens is that this thing starts radiating energy in all directions. Like a sun, right? What happens is that as soon as you get further and further away from that thing, the amount of energy that reaches you is getting exponentially smaller. Like the sun, right? The sun in the sky sends tons of energy, more than tons of energy in the entire universe in all directions. Just a fraction of it reaches the earth that we use. So this thing, like for example, if this tower is a huge tower and you have a city on the side, this has to work like a sun, wasting a lot of energy, sending it in all directions so that some of it reaches the city and powers the houses of people. So this is not very efficient. If you just wire from the source to the city, it will be much more efficient, much less waste of power. But Mr. Tesla was sure that he could do it. Closer to the end, when he was older, he wanted to get money for his project. He started claiming that there are other things like some sort of free energy, or he had these death rays that he could shoot the airplanes down with electricity. So he started making those claims so he could fundraise from the government, in my opinion, to fund his tower and make it work. And the claims he made opened the door for a lot of people that say, hey, Nikola Tesla, he was a genius. He claimed that these things can exist. So I made this device, buy it for $3,000. Don't believe in fake videos. There is no free energy. There is sun right there. You can see it. If you want energy, just invent something to harness sun's energy, and we'll be all good. Thank you very much. If you have questions, or you want to play with my fan here, or whatever?
What inspired you to make the electric guitar?
Electric guitar. Why did I make the electric guitar? With my videos, I have to make them funny somehow. Otherwise, if I just want to say, okay, this is the Tesla coil, this is frequency, nobody's going to watch, right? So I was going to talk about that, like electricity is dangerous, touching electricity. How could you touch electricity? Electric guitars. Which is not how you make an electric guitar, okay? There's no live wires connected to electric guitar. Thanks.
Hoping for possible more electrocuting for him. Any chance you'll be making more videos?
Electrocute?
Electrocuting.
Like my daughter, you were talking about. Yeah, the girl sitting there. Yeah, she's actually pretty good for my videos. Every time she's in one of the videos, the views go high. So I should bring her, you know. I just have to make sure that the child labor doesn't come out.
You can't pay her.
Oh, there's another one.
How about an ElectroBOOM uncensored channel?
Uncensored. I usually wear clothing in my videos. I don't. Everything else is on the video. I don't know what. Without the bleeps. Well, the YouTube is gonna like cut my videos off if I, don't put bleeps on it. And sometimes I don't even curse in the video. I just put the bleep there. I look at the scene and say, oh, it looks too mild. Let me curse a couple of times. Oh, my taser. Yes, I made a taser. But it's not portable. I guess there are rules around it. My taser is like this big. If somebody attacks you, you can just throw it at them. Well, thank you very much. Nothing special. Put your finger away. Like right here? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. A little bit lower in the water. Okay. And now slowly bring it close and tell me if you feel it.
All these are made by tape.
Hello. Happy Maker Faire.
Happy Maker Faire, Danny the tape master.
Tape wizard.
Tape wizard.
Taperer.
Taperer.
We're building a tape empire over here. You're welcome to join.
I videoed that too. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Look at all this. All made by tape. Oh, look at the Millennium Falcon. All sorts of cool stuff here. Being a maker, in my opinion, is about creating whatever you like the way you like it as a hobby, and just be creative about it. These are Uber maze. Who draw all these? You? Jonathan? Wow. From my experience, good ideas only come to you when you are involved in something long enough. And the best thing to be involved in is enjoying your creativity, like a true maker. Because only then you are willing to spend time and learn without feeling bored. And one day, from all the effort you put in, you gain the vision that will help you see what's needed and how to improve lives from your creativity. And at that point, your job can become your hobby. And trust me, there is nothing better than that. When it comes to jobs, that is. Otherwise, I vote for a warm soup in Arctic. Well, like they say, it's the biggest show and tell in the world. It's actually cool to see a lot of fans here too.
How do you shock yourself all the time? This guy's the best guy.
We look good.
We look good.
We look good.
3D printer nerd, you said?
Sure, we'll use that. 3D printing nerd, it works. I love it. Hey, thanks for not shocking me yet.
Maybe later. The inventors of this contraption. It was fun riding it.
Hey.